Alright guys, so today we are going to talk about the next step in your iSearch process, which is finding all of your sources of information. So far you guys have been looking at lots of websites and you've done some reflections and you may have even started taking a few notes on your websites. But we wanted to remind you guys that while the web is awesome, it's not the only place that you can get information. And so today we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about other places where you can find information, other sources of information for your iSearch project. So first, let's get the details out of the way. For your required sources, notice that you will need 5 total. Also notice that you may have more if you want to, and a lot of you guys will. Remember that your English teacher and I are looking that you have answered your questions completely. So if you need more than 5 sources to do that, you may end up having more, but 5 is our minimum. Also, notice this is new, that one source must be a print source. And when we're talking about print sources, we're talking about something other than the web. So a book from this library or the Campbell County Library will work. A magazine article from one of our magazines or from one of our databases. Even an encyclopedia article from World Book might be an option for that. Also new is that one of your sources can be an interview with an expert on your topic. So if I am researching Greece and I have a friend who has recently been to Greece, I can set up a time to talk with my friend, maybe even through email if she lives far away or something like that, and I can use that as one of my sources of information. So again, 5 total, one of them has to be print, and one can be an interview if you want. So we're going to talk about the interview process first. When you go into an interview, I want you guys to think really hard about what it is you want to accomplish. There's a reason that you're interviewing instead of just looking up information online. So are you looking for personal connections? Are you looking for a background story you didn't know about? What's the reason that you're choosing to interview this person? And then, guys, I want you to think about how much we've talked about the importance of asking good questions. If you go into an interview asking just yes or no questions, you're not going to end up getting very good information. Just think back to our first interview where we did our personal universe webs. That kind of thing where we're asking yes or no questions isn't going to work. You guys have done some background reading. You have some information on your topic already. So use that information and make some really good questions. If you choose to do an interview, you do have to turn in a few things to us. You're going to need to turn in a list of your questions ahead of time if possible by creating a document in your iSearch folder in Google Docs and just title that interview. And we literally only just need a list of your questions, and if you want to, you can type in your answers there after you're done. You also have to provide us with some information about the person that you interviewed. So the person's name, the date of the interview, and if you do it over email, it can be the date that you sent the first email, and then contact information for that person. So if I'm emailing Mr. Cole, I would put his name and then I would put either the phone number to Brookville High School or Mr. Cole's email. That way your English teacher and I can get in touch with that person if we need to. Okay, if you have any other questions about interviews, please make sure you see your English teacher or myself, and we will be happy to help you out. Now that we've covered interviews, we're going to go ahead and talk about print sources for a little bit. So what you're going to do to get to your print sources, and you are welcome to do this as you watch this video, you can pause and replay whatever you need, but you're going to go to the website listed here, our Brookville Library website. You can get to this website a couple of different ways, which I'm going to show you right now. If you are using Chrome, which is what we normally use, you're just going to type the website directly into your URL bar right up here, which is what I'm going to come back to do. You can also get to it through Firefox if you prefer. This is a little bit easier because there's actually a link right here on, let's see, I'll make sure it says student, BHS Library, you can click right there and get to the site as well. Okay? Once you are in the site, I'm just going to go to it quickly here. And once you're in the site, you're going to click on the Student tab. And from here, we're going to be using this Symbaloo, which has a bunch of links on here. We're going to be looking at research sources today. And remember, we're only looking for print sources. So the first place that we are going to start is with Destiny. If you guys remember from middle school or last year, you probably know that Destiny is our program that organizes all the books here in our library. So what I'm going to do is choose Brookville High School, and then I'm going to get to this page, which hopefully you've seen before. It shouldn't be too new. This is where you're going to search for your topic. So you can search by keyword, title, author, subject, or series. You're probably going to use the keyword or the subject option for this. So I'm going to use the example of Greece to see what we have. So I'm going to type in my topic, and then I can either click keyword or subject. I'm going to start with keyword. We'll come back to subject in just a second. When I click keyword, it is searching every book here for any mention of the word Greece. So if I scroll through, I can see that I've got some travel books, I've got some books on mythology, I've got some books on places to visit, I've got books on people from Greece, I've got all sorts of stuff here. So I want to show you the difference really quickly. I've got 81 results between a keyword search and a subject search. For subjects, notice that I have less results. I have 53. So if you end up with too many results in a keyword, you can always do subject and kind of narrow it down a little bit. If you end up with not very much in a subject search, you might use keyword instead. So I'm going to scroll through and see if I can see anything that might be good. And this book right here looks pretty good for me. So I can click here, and when I click on the title, I get to see a little bit more about the book. First of all, I get to see right here about what the book is about. A comprehensive travel guide to Greece with photographs, illustrations, and maps, along with information on restaurants and hotels, nightlife and tourist sites, shopping, and history. If I am doing my iSearch project on Greece as a place to visit, this seems like a really good book for me. I can kind of also scroll down and see under this Explore tab, and sometimes there are links that say Find It. So if I want to find more travel guides and see if there's something else about Greece, I can click that link and I can see all the travel guides that we have there. If I decide that I like this book, I've also got the publication information right here, which might become important later, and we'll talk about why on our next step. Right now I need to find this book. So I need this call number right here. And what I need to do is I need to write this down on a note card or a sticky note or something, and I need the numbers and the letters. You probably remember learning that most libraries are organized using the Dewey Decimal System. And you don't need to know too much about Dewey other than the fact that it organizes books by numerical order. So 914, for example, would come after 913 and before 915. Okay? These little extra decimal points at the end just make it even more organized. So 914.95 would come after 914.8, for example. And then these right here, these letters are either the letters of the author's name, or in this instance, the letters of some part of the title. And I need both of those to be able to help you find any books that you're looking for. I can also look here and make sure that the book is available. If it says local copies available 0 of 1, then I know that I'm out of luck. I can't get that book. But it says I've got 1 of 1 available, so I can go to the shelf, use my numerical powers to find it, and pull that book and use that. So that's one option. So what I'd like for you to do right now is go ahead to Destiny, see what you can find, and come on back to the video once you've seen what we have in this library. Okay, so our second option for print sources is going to be the Campbell County Public Library page, which is on this button right here. And when we click that, it's going to take us to this screen, and we're just going to pretty much use the search bar right up at the top. And I'm going to do the same search as before, where I'm searching for Greece. And I want you guys, first of all, to notice the much larger number of results that we get. We've got 759 as opposed to like 81, I think. And that's because Campbell County pulls from Lynchburg, Bedford, and Campbell County libraries. So you're getting a lot more options here. You can scale back the number of results that you get by clicking on certain things over here. So maybe I only want books, and maybe I only want books having to do with history of Greece or civilization. So once I get here, I kind of use this the same way that I use Destiny, meaning I can click on any book that I'm interested in and I can see a little bit more about it. So this one right here, Ancient Greece, kind of looks interesting to me. So I can look and I can see it says 8 classic titles from Eyewitness Books have been relaunched. That doesn't really seem like something that I necessarily want. So I can go back to my results, maybe click through and find something different. I thought I saw, let's see, maybe this Atlas of the Classical World. Text and illustrations present the history and culture of ancient Greece and Rome, which this one looks good to me. So I can go ahead and click place a hold right here. And when I do that, it's going to bring up a place where I need to put in my library card. And guys, you do have to have a library card to get these resources. Really easy to get one. Just take parent and a photo ID over to the Timbrook Library on Leesville and you got it. Your library card will have its own PIN number and you can click login. And then you can choose where you want to pick your book up. Like I told you, Lynchburg, Bedford, and Campbell are all in here. But the cool thing is they will ship your book to your closest library. So I choose Forest because that's near me. You guys will probably choose Timbrook. And then you click Submit Hold. I'm not going to hold this one because I don't really need it right now. But once you do, it will tell you that it will send you an email once that book has gotten there. And so that's how you can get a print resource. The other option that you can use for using Campbell County Library is just to go there. I like using the website because it's easier for me, but there are wonderfully helpful librarians who are ready to help you find stuff. So they will pretty much do the research for you if you go tell them what you're looking for. So I would really suggest, if you're struggling with finding a print source, taking an afternoon or maybe a morning of your weekend, going over, talking with somebody there and finding your print source. It won't be a waste of your time, I'm sure. Okay, so that is our second option. I'm going to show you 2 more options for finding print sources, which is going to be using our BHS Gale resources and also our World Book resource. However, you guys are going to need to click on the next video in order to watch that part. Have a look at what the Campbell County Library has to offer, and I will see you in our next video.